Yeah, it's been a great challenge, to be honest, to do all and do them all well. I think last year, we had a bowl a bit later than this, but we had the COVID recruiting rules where you weren't tied up on the road all week or 2 weeks, and then with official visits on the weekend. So it's been a great challenge, and we haven't slept much, but that's good. But it's dead today, and we can turn our full attention to this game. And I'm really excited for our team to be able to play on national TV and represent our university and in our efforts to go 3-0 in our bowl games and in our time here. And really didn't like the way our season ended. Felt like it's my fault and I'm responsible, and I want to have a different feeling going into the off season. So we're really excited about this opportunity, playing a wonderfully well coached team in Eastern Michigan. Chris Creighton is one of the best men in coaching. He's a molder of men. His kids play extremely hard for him, and obviously their record reflects that. So big physical offensive line and very, very, very disciplined defense. So got a great challenge, but it's one that we're really looking forward to. Can't wait to get there. Hope our people will get tickets, come support us in Mobile. I think the weather's supposed to be good, so come on down and let's try to get a third bowl win.
Thank you, Coach Freeze. We'll take questions now. We'll start with Damian Sordelett from the News in Advance.
Morning, Hugh. It was also a pretty busy time in terms of, coaching Carousel within your group. For the third straight year, you have an on-field assistant departing, and Sam Gregg heading to be the OC at Southern Miss. Then you have, Dominic Stadinsky getting a promotion, and then Derry Marshall's retiring. And has it been a pretty chaotic week from that standpoint?
I wouldn't call it chaotic. I would call it, obviously, I think there's all kinds of different kinds of change. There's good changes that are better for people and maybe better for us at times, and then there's ones where you simply are just happy for your guys to get opportunities. And I texted Ian the other night. I said, I think we obviously have hired the right people, because it seems like our guys are sought after. And so I think that's a compliment to our kids and our program and the people that we've hired. So we're happy for Sam. Obviously, to go back to his home state and be a coordinator is a step that he felt like was in the right direction for him. Derry's retirement was really just health-driven, so he's in our prayers. He's had a lot of surgeries on his back and his neck, and obviously he's battled cancer twice. And I think he and his wife have just decided it's time for us to be grandparents, and so we wish him the best in that. And who am I forgetting? You mentioned another one. Oh, Dom's promotion. I truly believe he's our assistant head coach, and I thought it was time we reflected that. And there's not many things that I do scheduling-wise or anything that he is not the only voice I really listen to. I don't seek other people's advice or even their opinion other than his in regards to that and what's best for our team. And I think he's probably the most important hire I have in this building. And so I wanted to reflect that in both title and in just honoring the job he's done here. Our kids look different in a short amount of time than when we arrived, and that's really him and his staff. Miss Danielle, plays a role in that too. And so we've got several other changes, and I don't want to get ahead of HR. I never know how that really works, but we're blessed to have Danielle come with us full time as just a nutritionist just for football. Thankful to the administration and Ian seeing the need for that. And Matt Bevins is going to be moving into Derry's role. He's earned that. I trust him immensely, and he has the great disposition and demeanor to listen to me complain and stuff when I do. I think he's going to do a heck of a job there. So I can't remember. There may be others, but we'll tackle them as they come.
Let's go next to John Manson from A Sea of Red.
Hey, Coach, one thing that I remember you and some of your staff mentioning in previous bowl games was about motivation. A lot of times it comes down to being motivated to win, and a lot of times a more motivated team wins. And the first couple of years, playing first ever bowl game, and then last year going up against a nationally ranked and undefeated Coastal team, I think the motivation was pretty obvious. Is that something you worry about this year in your third straight bowl game?
I worry about this team, period, because just the way I don't feel like we got. I mean, we're a good team and we won games and we're bowl eligible and we should celebrate that always. Don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like I pulled the right switches or got the right, found the right button to hit to get us to click on all cylinders, and that's not something that sets extremely well with me, and that is motivating for me. But to say that I would sit here and not worry about just our team in general, because we've had a tendency not to have complete focus or complete, we just been off in our operations, and whether it's one guy, whether it's two guys, and it just kills a drive or kills a play or gives them a touchdown pass. And so I just determined that we're going to play better in this bowl game, and I've been pleased so far. We practiced, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Liked two of them a lot. Didn't care for one of them very much. Excited to get back out tonight after exams today and practice again, and then we'll travel tomorrow, obviously. But yes, I'm worried about the motivation factor, but optimistic also that we'll respond the right way.
Coach, along those lines, how important is this game then? I mean, it sounds silly to ask that in one respect because it's a bowl game and it's postseason. Of course it's important, right? But just in terms of the way, I mean, you alluded to, finishing the season on a sour note there at the end, and just trying to get a win and have this season end on a positive note. And will that be important to how this season is remembered?
I really don't care how people remember it. I care what happens, with the people on this campus and in our building. And it's important to me. I believe I'm 5-1 or 6-1 as a head coach in bowl games, and so they're important to me always. And we've somehow found a way to get our kids to believe that, understand that. We hope that will be the case this year. It's important to me. I like going into the off season feeling like we got better, at least for this bowl game, and got to another 8-win season. It's hard to win college football games. I think everybody's finally listening to me on that in regards to, unless you just have the better players every single week. And I don't know that that's going to be the case in our world right now in the scheduling that we have. I just don't. We're not going to roll out there and just have the better players from top to bottom than others. And so you better play well, and you better take care of the ball. And unfortunately, I don't think we always reached our potential, and that's again frustrating. So I want to reach it in this bowl game, and that will make us all feel a little better headed into spring practice for sure.
Let's go to Ed from CBS Sports Radio.
Hugh, you mentioned the play of Eastern Michigan up front in the trenches. Is that concerning for you? Where's your confidence that you guys can match that and assert yourselves on that side of the ball, given what you have known and observed about how stout they are in those areas?
Yeah, I mean, they're big physical offensive line and defensive lines, and so that is a concerning. Our D-line has held up pretty well against most of the lines we've played this year, so I'm optimistic there. We've got to handle their RPO world and shot plays off of their run action. And then, we've got to handle the 55's a heck of a pass rusher, and we've struggled with that all year. So we've got to have a plan for that. And then their big inside guys are really, really strong and hard to move. But I think we've got a good plan, and excited, again, about the opportunity to go out and do it. But, they're a really good team. and you're going to have to play really well to beat them. But that's what you want in a bowl game.
Let's go back to Damien.
Hugh, in this world of players electing to opt out of bowl games because of wanting to stay healthy and prepare for the NFL draft, what does it say about a guy like Malik Willis to go out there with his brothers one more time?
Man, I would be so disappointed if one of our players, I don't care what your status is, whether you're a first round pick or headed into the workforce. I just think I don't understand that thinking. I don't. And I guess they could turn it on me and say, well, head coaches leave and go to other jobs and don't finish. I don't know. I wish they would. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I wish they would let me get on a committee with a few other coaches, and I think we could help solve some of this craziness. And maybe there ought to be a hiring season that you can't hire a coach until they are able to finish with their darn team. I don't understand. I don't know. I think it's just I think we're headed down the road of some things that are not great for our sport. But at the same time, I want to keep in mind, I was talking to a brand new head coach last night, Rhett Lashley, and he was just asking me some questions. I said, let's just remember this, Rhett. You and I have a chance to impact people and a great job that we love doing. So let's don't forget that with all the craziness, and I could tell you there's some craziness going on. I mean, we're recruiting kids right now that we don't even know. And you're bringing them to campus, and their tape looks good, and you sure hope that they fit, and here we go, and it's fool's gold in a lot of situations probably, and I'm part of it now, and I don't know how I got on that tangent, but I just think everybody ought to finish, and let's get a committee that says, all right, you can change coaches, but you got to hire them after, I don't know, December the 15th or December 31st. I don't know. I wish we could all just finish for our kids and we could all finish together. But I probably don't have all the answers to that. I just wish it wasn't the case. But I'm proud of Malik, proud of all of our kids that have chosen, man, this is what we want to do is we want to finish. We want to finish together. We want to go to bowl games every year. And, it's a sacrifice. But, man, the things in life, the good things in life usually come from hard times or something that you had to sacrifice and work for. The easy things that you usually get, they don't last, and you probably don't lead you to much good, to be honest. And so, man, it is a little sacrifice to stay here after school's out and to get ready for a bowl game, but this is what we signed up for, so finish. And learn to finish in marriages and in families and in jobs, and so that's my tangent for the day.
Love it. Let's go to Ed Lane again.
I don't even know how to follow up with that, but I guess I got to ask the obligatory question, Hugh. One of the thoughts on why the coaching carousel is spun the way it has and transfers and opt-outs have become more prevalent is the early signing day. And obviously you got to adapt as a coach to what it is now. But
that's right.
Would you love to move that back so that
Ed, if you would come to our meetings, Ed, with all the rest of the coaches, you would have heard clearly what we said. But the people on whatever committees don't listen, but we said do not do this. If you want to have an early signing period, we're great. Have it August 1, right before the senior season. Let them sign, and then have the other one in February. But this idea that we can pull off this transfer portal world in a 2-week span before the December 15th with 2 weekends to trip people and have it not be chaotic. And now that's why you're firing all these coaches and early, because you got to get ready for this early signing period because you might miss out. I mean, the people created this, and they don't sit in these meetings with us. I can tell you that. The coaches don't feel that way. We're fine for an early signing period. Do it before the season starts, before the high school season starts, before the junior college season starts. let the guys make a decision that are prepared to do that. We're letting them trip now in the spring. They come all summer, so let them do that. Let us have our dead period in July so we can be a husband, father, family, and recharge. And then let them sign August 15th, August 1st. I don't care the date, but, man, this December 15th deal with them handing us the transfer portal world also is, to me, we've lost our mind on that one. And it's I think it's just going to create more issues. And you see that. I mean, they're firing coaches, and coaches are leaving their teams, and in an effort to try to get players for this early signing period. When if it was before the season and the next one wasn't until February, everybody's got a little time to at least breathe, and let's really think through these decisions of who we're signing, recruiting, and all of that. Now, again, I don't have all the answers. I'm sitting here ranting, but I don't have all the answers. The problem is the transfer portal kids want to be here in January, so maybe there needs to be right now it's a dead period. Maybe we need one more week just for transfers, if that makes sense. But trying to get it all done right now is definitely, I think, creating some ripple effects that are not good for our sport.
Let's go to John.
Coach, in spite of that, those are the current rules you have now.
Yep.
And, you guys have been out recruiting the last 2 weeks. I know on Wednesday you'll be able to talk about some of these guys officially. But what has been the general reception that you've gotten from some of these recruits you've gone after?
Incredible. Liberty brand is growing. We're becoming a program that is one that when they get the call from us, it's received differently than 2-3 years ago. Totally differently, and they're taking your calls, and they're wanting to come visit. And to be honest, we are battling for our top guys right now with Power 5 teams in many cases, and I think that means we're on the right teams, on the right players, and that their view of us has changed. And so we've had some success, as you've seen, with some of the commitments, and hopefully we can get them across the finish line Wednesday. But we're right in the middle of it for some really good players, and it's I think everyone that I'm speaking of right now, most every one of them, it's either a ACC or Big Ten school that we're trying to get across the finish line, a few guys. And so it's definitely changed the way we're perceived.
Ed, did you have another one? Okay. Let's go to Damien.
Hugh, changing gears a bit. Besides, the players who've been out for the year, are you guys healthy heading into this bowl game?
Yeah, we're the only one that I'm really, really concerned about right now of his status would be Ralph. He really took a pretty good injury in that last game in Army to his knee, and it's not long term, but it's certainly I am concerned a bit.
Hugh, you've had admiration for guys like Bill Clark at UAB and what he's done to resurrect that program. And Eastern Michigan, it's taken them a while to get going as well. Just your level of admiration for what they've done, and not just how they've built themselves, as you mentioned, in the trenches, but the way they've gone about it from a program-building philosophy that you believe Liberty can learn from.
Yeah, again, I think that goes to their head coach, Coach Creighton. I've known him for a while, and just salt of the earth guy, believer, and we hired R.J. Fleming from here, and I think that just speaks to the culture to which he's used to build the program now, and it's been very, very competitive all year long with really good teams. So, congrats to them on their success.
Damien?
Chris on Friday mentioned, the relationship with you and him dates back to your Lambeth days because of his friendship with Tom Allen, and then he coached with Ricky Hunley at Drake. And can you expound more on what you know about Chris and how you've gotten to know him?
Well, the initial introduction came when I hired Tom Allen. at Lambeth. That was the first time I hired him and got him out of high school. And he and Chris were really good friends. And then Chris hired him at Drake after I left Lambeth to go to San Jose with Mike McIntyre. I didn't stay there very long and came back to Arkansas State and rehired Tom from Drake. So I've had a lot of dealings with him because of that connection. And I see him. We get together every year that we have that AFCA deal that they ask us to come to as head coaches for head coaches meetings. And typically him, myself, Tom, Gus, a few others try to get together right before that just to kind of talk about the state of our game, because I think we all kind of have the same mindset of what coaching is really about, and hopefully we remind each other, and he's always got great wisdom when we sit in those meetings. So I think he's a heck of a guy and great coach.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time. We've got some others here, and I know you've got some other things coming up here as well, so we're going to go ahead and cut it off now. But appreciate your time. Look forward.
Yep. Thanks, guys. See you in Mobile.
All right.
Excuse me. Can I say one other thing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Totally forgot. You know, we man, just pray with us for Story Jackson. You know, he lost his mom suddenly. It's just been a terrible week, just shocking news, and they're having the funeral today, and we've got several staff members that are there and players. So just pray for him as he's dealing with this tragedy.